What's going on, everyone? So today's project is my 99 SeaDoo GSX Limited. I have mentioned it, I think, in a couple of videos before with the four-wheelers when I've been working on them. And, well, this jet ski was my cousin's, and, well, they didn't want it anymore. It wasn't running, it was sitting for a few years, it was sitting in storage, and he told me, dude, just go to the storage, pull it out of storage, because we're not going to keep paying to store it there, so just go pick it up. And that's what I did. So he ended up giving me the title and everything for it. He told me that there was something wrong with the starting issue, and it wasn't running right, what have you. So I was like, you know what? I like projects. I'll take it on and see how far I get with it. Now, I was able to get it to turn over and everything like that, but I still pulled the engine out of it because found out that the engine had water in it. So someone did flood it. So I replaced the crank bearings on it, put the engine all back together, put a new VTS motor, so the variable trim, whatever it is, it's basically a window motor. Put a new one of that, got a new battery for it, and just as I get the engine everything back into it, should have checked the starter beforehand, but looks like the starter is bad. I have a new one coming in for that, and also my gauge is bad. It reads, it's not like bad, or should I say burnt, but the display itself doesn't read all the numbers. It shows partial, but I'm picking up a new one of this today, and I'm about to take the seat to see how much it would cost to be recovered by a shop local to me, because, well, it's got this tear here, that one there, this one is a scuff mark, this here, and I don't want my passengers or me getting cut up from the seat. And plus I want to see, plus there's that one, so I want to see if I can get something that's more textured or has more of a grip to it instead of these like vinyl. But otherwise, yes, I have this all taken apart. Let me set this over here, because I need to take the seat anyways. Here's the engine, have this taken out. And to get to the starter, because it's on, can't really see in here, it's on this side. And I don't want to take the manifold off, as I just put it on the other day, or the carburetor. This is carburetors, there's two of them. So I'm gonna see if I can get to the starter without having to take all this apart, but otherwise I'm gonna go take this, see how much it will be to have it recovered. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with red or go black. I know black's gonna get really hot, so I'll see what they have for material wise and cost for it, and then pick up a new one of these today. Hopefully it's the right one, and that one also works. All right, I'll catch you in a little bit. Alright, so just got back from dropping off the seat. Actually, I got back a while ago. I've been cleaning up my tools a little bit here and there, and now I'm about to go pull the starter out of this thing and attempt to, as far as the seat goes, the local business is actually going to do it for about 150 bucks, which honestly isn't a bad deal. I don't have to fight with recovering the seat, and most seat covers out there are like 100 bucks anyways, like right around that mark. Some are cheaper, some are more expensive, but she's going to redo it with the marine grade vinyl, heavy duty, and I end up going with, well, give your guesses down below what color I end up going with, and see if you're correct next time this comes in for a video. But anyways, let's get to the starter. So like I said earlier, the starter is below everything. Here's the air box, and to remove the air box, all you gotta do is pull this out, well, these out. They have these rubber tabs here. Sometimes you can finagle them down and pop them off. Otherwise, just undo this nut and this bolt, and these come out. So let me remove these and remove the air box. And then to remove the air box, there's this metal tab right here, this guy, and then the air box just pops off like that, and then we can finagle it out. And hopefully my skinny arms and hands will fit down there and get that starter out. And unfortunately, I don't think I could get a good enough camera angle, but we'll see what I can do. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the air box off. As you can see, it's right there. I did have to remove the battery to give myself enough room to finagle the airbox between here, kind of up here, and well, you're gonna scratch up your airbox most likely, but you'll get the airbox off. And let's see what the camera sees here. Bam! There's a starter right here. Try and get some light. Oh, what am I doing with the camera here? Boom. There's a starter. We have to disconnect the positive and the negative cable, but that bolt for the negative cable, drive mode, what? I'm pushing things on my camera, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, so that bolt right there for the negative, and that bolt right there are 5mm Allen bolts, and those are the only two things holding the starter to the block. And then the starter just slips in there to the starting gear. So we just got to take out those two bolts, undo the terminal for the positive and negative, and we can yank the starter out. Perfect. Alright, let me do that right now. So, as you can see, everything's disconnected from the starter. So we're just gonna reach in here and try and wiggle it off. Might have to go from the other side again. Alright, got the pry bar, got the starter. All right. So this is what I mean by the other side. I'm like on top of the jet ski, crawling around, reaching around the engine like so. So one arm is going around there, and then the other arm is fitting right through here down there. So if you have big arms, you're probably gonna have to take this manifold off. But we got the starter. That was the main objective of this goal. Or that was the goal of this objective. Main goal of this objective. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't speak too good. Anyways, so the starter just has this bolt, and then it's sealed in with these two O-rings. And you know what? Out of curiosity, let's open this bad boy up, because I do have a new one on order, and that should be here in a few days. But for you guys, it'll be a few seconds. So let's open up the starter and see how bad it really is. Alright, so I just took this all apart. The inside and the terminals here aren't too bad. Can clean all this up. And I have rebuilt the starter in the past. I've gotten the kit and just cleaned everything up, or just not even getting the kit and just cleaned everything up. But the issue lies right in here, this bearing for this gear. This, I cannot turn it even with two hands. Like, cannot spin this freely. Well, I'm starting to be able to. Now, if I keep working with this and lube this, I could probably get this free so it can start. But like I mentioned earlier, this engine had water sitting inside here. Someone did flood it at some point. Luckily, it never got past the crank. Like, it never came up all the way to the crank, but just enough where it flooded the flywheel housing about halfway up the flywheel. So it got up to the crank, but not past it. And I cleaned up the flywheel. I got a new stator for it. And I was dumb. I had the engine out. I should have checked the starter. I should have changed the starter. But I did not. And honestly, a new starter was about 30 bucks, 40 bucks. So I have one on order. And in just a second here, you're going to see the new one right about now. just like that, we have the brand new starter. It came in the mail yesterday, and it's a few days later, if you can't already tell, even though everything is exactly the same. So this starter, as you can see, spins freely. And I ended up taking apart the old starter, and the issue, if you can see in there, the bearings were super rusty. You guys saw me taking it out. It's the same process, just in reverse. So I'm gonna throw this in, and then we're gonna test it to make sure it works. Turns everything over before we put the air box back in and finish it all up. All right, so I just threw the battery in. Starter's all bolted up, and I did put dielectric grease on the terminals just to help with everything staying uncorroded. Putting the key in, and well, so I don't have spark plugs in it. I don't have any oil in the reservoir either. I'm just doing this to test the starter and make sure everything cranks over. And starter works, everything cranks. So that's it for this video. This is kind of the introduction to the SeaDoo, and as bilge pump is running. Let me pull the key. So as I nicknamed this SeaDoo, it is Ruby, and I've had this since last October, November. Just now making videos on it, almost a year later. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this, and next video to come for this will probably be me getting it running. So this weekend I'm probably gonna be getting oil, spark plugs for it, and trying to fire it up. So that'll be next video to come for this. Don't know when I'll be posting it, but if you wanna stay tuned for that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you later. Bye.